Everybody, before we get into this late morning update, I want to go over a quick overview of why I decided to do a second update this morning. If you're looking for XRP and the Bitcoin, the in-depth breakdown, that's going to be in the earlier update this morning, so I encourage you to take a look at that. But right now I decided to do a second update because I want to take a look at XLM as it's trying to break out, or it's back testing the breakout of the ascending triangle. So I want to take a look at that to see where the technical targets would bring us on a breakout. And then also, we need to take a look at HBAR, DGB, and also IOTA. If you're a fan of it, you're going to want to stick around for this entire update because I'm going to show you some technical analysis that I don't always get to touch on. So make sure you hit that like button, as it would greatly help push me through the analytics. And I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. I know there's a lot of volatility in the market. Bitcoin's up to 30,900, as we've talked about. And I won't really be able to look at the chart in this update of Bitcoin, but I can tell you, Bitcoin's at 30,900 and some change. But right now we're on top of the channel breakout. The CME gap was at 30,000. We're formed a bull flag, and the breakout target on the bull flag would be 35,000 and approximately 40. So that would be a nice breakout. If you were to break down, for whatever reason, get rejected at 31,000 and come through the channel at 30K and start breaking down, the technical target on a breakdown is 25,194. But to me, until we see a breakdown, this looks bullish to me. And I've been saying that even when it came down to 29,700, it pulled right back up. It looked like just a wick in the daily. So to me, this is looking more bullish than bearish. This formation plays out, the technical target is 35,000. And there is an inverted head and shoulders forming as well in Bitcoin, just like XRP. So with XRP, we're in the inverted head and shoulders formation. Again, I'll talk about XRP, but if you want to see it on the chart, you're going to have to look at the earlier update. XRP sitting at the 484 level as we speak, and we're currently in a broadening wedge formation. The broadening wedge support is 41 and about 413 right now. We have the inverted head and shoulders neckline at 44 cents. The double bottom of the formation at 4495 approximately right now. So assuming we can hold the 477 area on XRP, the breakout move right now, we should be able to push up to 508 on the short-term bull flag that's formed. And then ultimately, it looks like we're going to be able to have a decision there at 508. If you break that, then you have 537 or 538. But ultimately, we'd be looking, if Bitcoin does make a push, XRP holds, serve, and plays it out true, we should be looking at XRP coming up and trying to retest that double top around the 585. There's a lot of areas, though, we can get rejected, and that's why I mentioned them. First area, 494, then 50-cent psychological level. The 508 is very important because that's roughly the top of the short-term bull flag. Then if you break above that, the short-term reversal starts happening. We still have an inverted head and shoulders pattern that's valid. Top of the broadening wedge is 613 roughly right now, which happens to also be a formation breakdown back several years ago. So make sure you hit that like button. No intro today because we got to get right into the technical analysis. So when we're looking at this right now, I want to go first. Let's go into IOTA. IOTA's up 0.93%. It's at 18.5 cents. And IOTA came all the way up to the top of our channel on a wick, which is ironic. But it came up there, and now it had to retest. But the reason I wanted to look at IOTA is it's had a golden cross in the 4-hour time frame, and now it's trying to confirm the golden cross. We also had a breakout on IOTA, but the cup and handle complete. It's trying to complete, but it came back down. But if you look at the immediate short term, all it really does is it's trying to put in a bullish handle. It should pull itself back up here, and we're going to decide with that channel formation. It's a downward channel, but we have to come above there, and we got rejected once. But IOTA is synonymous for these quick wicks and just coming right back down. So literally, if you were paying attention, it came right up to 22 cents, right back down. But you've had a golden cross form, and right now it's looking like a more bullish formation, as most of crypto is. But we're going to be looking for, and I don't want to confuse it with a whole bunch of patterns or anything like that, but actually I do. I'm sorry. I do. I do want to confuse it. Only for one reason, though. Because we broke down out of big patterns, folks. That's why we have this overextension here. You know what? I can just do it with this so we don't. If you look at it from a farther that's off. But if you look at that from farther out, the only reason that's like that is because it pulled it outward, but this is supposed to be more like this. But it had a formation that it broke down but it never broke completely down out of it. It kind of held. Now it's on this kind of like a bear flag, I guess you could call it. But we can actually, I like to kind of see what the pattern's trying to tell us. So if we do something like, instead of saying it's in like a channel, if we come out and we do something like, it's going to be tough. Because it really does look like a a bear flag style of a setup. Something like this. But that's in the daily. We could probably make this easier. Yeah, see, I'm going to get rid of a lot of this. We're going to do this. We're going to go from the body here. Then we'll bring it back into the daily so that I can see it better. So we went from the body. I know this takes a while sometimes, but we go from the body and we're just trying to get this consolidation. So yeah, I guess we could say it's like a channel formed. It is, because it's got to break through the channel, so that's fine. But it's easier to see. So it's kind of like this big bear flag forming. And if we break out of this, the cool thing is it could start to become that head formation on an inverted head and shoulders. That's why if it completes a higher up cup and handle like I drew out, that would start showing us that we're having a reversal, and that could be an inverted head. So we could have a big breakout here. So if we break this channel, first target up here is going to be about 35.7 out of a channel breakout. It's a pretty big move here. Now if you take it down into the 4 hourly, you can see we have to clearly break out first of this channel at 21.6 roughly. And that's going to try to help you bring you up. But 35.7 is clearly there for IOTA. It had a huge breakdown in the not so recent past. So let's see if we can take that first level. But we're looking firmly at just over 21 cents right now for IOTA. So pay attention to that. DGB's up 12.36%. We talked about an imminent breakout as long as it held that support, because we're coming up to the top of the descending triangle. And we had an update within the live, and I did an update a few days ago with DGB, and we talked about how it was forming similarly to what Litecoin did, this inverted head and shoulders, and it should have brought us up to the top of the descending triangle. It's a double layer formation, but the top of this formation here for DGB was the top of the descending triangle, and that's exactly what it did. No surprises here, folks. Just keep paying attention to the daily updates and also the lives, because they're very important. So 839, we break over that, we might be able to come up to 989 and then ultimately run up higher. So, but if we get rejected here, we have it at Goldencross in the 4 hourly. Now what could happen is us coming back down to the Goldencross area, and we could have a breakdown to like 7.5, but that's not guaranteed, because you could break out and then start riding this and then pull up. So see this, you start going like this, and then you hit that point and you break out. So right now, very bullish look for DGB. Like I've been saying, a lot of people are calling for crypto to be very bearish right now, but I'm not seeing that necessarily. I'm seeing Bitcoin at 35,000 until it tells us otherwise. I'm seeing XRP with a bigger move up. Unless it breaks 44 cents, I think XRP is bullish right now still, because that inverted head and shoulders is valid. Until that neckline's broke, and now that we're over 477, it gives us opportunity. So with DGB, we're looking for this breakout now. So pay attention to this formation. It's been a long time in the works, folks. A long time in the works. And right now, just if you bought it where we were talking about on the formation that looked like a double bottom, we bought it around here, the 6.2, 6.3 area. You got a second chance right here. Not 6.2. About 6.2. But then we had a little bit more. It came through to, what was it, 5.8. I would say about 6.2 is when we talked about it a lot back here. So let's just say you bought it at 6.2, because we're not going to go right to the bottom. Right now, you're up almost 40% on DGB already. And we haven't even got back to a penny yet. There's opportunity here, folks. But we are in an accumulation phase, not a buy and sell phase. The accumulation phase, I always say that for a reason. This isn't 2021. We didn't wait 2.5 years on some things and over 2 years to buy XRP and our favorite ISO and IoT coins or tokens, which is what DGB is, the Internet of Things. So we didn't wait all that time just to sell our stuff. With HBAR, very, very easy to read this pattern because I've been keeping it up to date. We had a broken channel. Then we broke out of a formation. All we did was broke way out, broke down. We had this channel that was formed, but we broke down this formation. There's no reason to say, we have this big descending triangle up here, because we're playing it from the formation we're in right now. And yes, it looks a little weird because it's in the daily, but if you break it down into the 4 hourly, it makes perfect sense. Where's my drawing tool? Some of this stuff is not even supposed to be here. It's just my drawing tool that I leave on from one update to the next, as some of you know, on accident. So here's the arrow. So we broke down this channel. Oh, and look, I did the same thing I just did. I'm a funny guy. So we have this channel right here we broke down. Then we came down to the support here. Now, if we break back any farther, then we would have to come into this bottom part, which is like 2.8. So we broke down, we created what looks like an inverted head and shoulders, just like Litecoin at the time, and also how we seen with DGB. DGB had a volatile spike up, but so has HBAR, and now it broke back down like IOTA. It had a nice spike up, but now we're retesting the 497, which we held. We've had a Goldencross, I believe now, confirmed, and now we're holding the Goldencross confirmation on HBAR. This looks like it should break back up in the very near future to 6 cents. And if we get into the channel and break this, you could have a volatile spike up to 8 cents roughly. 7, 6, and then 8 cents. So, but first level here is we're looking for that return rally up to about 598. Assuming we don't lose 497 and this Goldencross is valid, this is looking very bullish for HBAR. So pay very close attention. So that's HBAR, IOTA, DGB. We've talked about Bitcoin. We've also talked about XRP, but now we need to get into XLM. XLM is working on a pattern reversal here. And now let's finish with XLM. So XLM, as you can see, we're in this ascending triangle pattern that we were in. We broke down in this falling channel. Let me take out my arrow so it's easier to see. So we have this, pull it out a little bit farther so you can see. We're in like what could be confirmed ascending triangle part of this pattern, which we had downtrending resistance and trending support, so you could say an ascending triangle. But we had a falling channel as well that we formed after we hit the resistance in the formation. So let me delete this real quick. So we created this channel after we got resistance up here at the 11.4 area, came all the way down on the falling channel, right down to support like you're supposed to. So we just had the channel there, so we knew at 8.7 if we held it, we'd come back up to the top. Now we got rejected at the pattern top, which has an 11.45 now. Well, now we're coming back, retesting the pattern breakout of the triangle, the ascending triangle. If we break out and hold this, your technical target's up to about 12.4. So we need to break this, get on top of 11.45 to confirm the breakout, and then your target would be about 12.4. So that's what we're looking at for XLM. So just pay very close attention to that. And I can show you on the other XLM chart the resistance before I leave. So I know this is getting long, but it was a necessary update. So that's what we're looking at. It's actually 12 cents is the next big resistance if we can break out. And then it gets a lot sexier as we break up. Now, you heard me talk about Bitcoin and XRP, so I might as well just go into it real quickly. Bitcoin at 31,000. It's over the threshold point now. If we can hold 31,000, we know the technical target's up there at 35,054. So just pay very close attention to this, ladies and gentlemen. Technical target's 35,000 if we hold 31. That's the breakout on the bull flag. And then with XRP, still over that 477 critical level. And we're trying to push ourselves up. We got that W formed. We've got this bull flag as I see it, as I've been talking about. And it should bring us up to 508 in the short term. And if we get on top of that, then we can start filling the gap to 537 and start pushing back to the top of the broadening wedge. You lose 477, you know, it can be a bit dangerous. But right now we're looking at the positive side of it if it goes up. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this, make sure you hit that like button. Consider joining Tom's Army. It's in the video description below and or pinned comments. And if you need to trade XRP or your favorite crypto in the USA, FMX is a real good resource we have now. You can do 100x on the long or shorting the market on futures trading, and you can buy XRP and many others in the USA with no KYC even. So it's a great option. So make sure you look in the video description below and or pinned comments if you need that. Positivity over negativity. Have a winner's mindset. Don't play the victim. We have all the information we need. Winners make winning plays in the most stressful of times. Remember, we're in an accumulation phase. I can't stress that enough. Which means once it's 20% lower than you're buying at your chosen target in the bear market, that's when you go in even heavier. But you're not selling it. You're in a bear market and it's an accumulation phase. If we break out of the bear market, the worst thing you can do is sell those cheap holdings for a little bit of short-term money. This is for a longer, drawn-out process now into 2025.